Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Shamblin Showdown here on the Talk 101.3, The Buzz, in the Mix 1041 studios. Here with the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew P. Morgan. If you don't know the man, his name is probably on the radio at least 30 times a day, or it's printed on something or somewhere. There might be 1,500 yard signs out right now, too.
You know, also the shopping carts at Food City. Don't forget the shopping carts. I think we've got pharmacy bags somewhere.
Somebody told me that they were shopping the other day, and they looked down, and your face was staring back at them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this: I was eating at the Mexican restaurant, and I was actually eating with Gary Green and Ethan White 2 or 3 months ago.
Bless your heart.
And we looked down, and this is before they really got to know you, but we looked down, and I'm like, that's Andrew Morgan staring right back at me.
Yeah,
you know?
Holly Thompson, every time she goes out to eat and finds, it's almost like a Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
And every time she finds one of those ads on the table, she sends me a picture.
Yeah.
And I swear she's been to, I think 4 different restaurants, and I've gotten a different picture.
Well, you're everywhere.
It's one of those things of, in all seriousness, people ask me, why. And, man, with what we do, trying to be active in the community, the more people know my face, more people know my name, I feel like the more good we can do. It's not just advertising for the office, for the campaign.
Sure.
It's one of those things that the more familiar you are with me, and the more comfortable you are, when it comes time to do something that matters, like an event that we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
Sure.
The more people know about it, the more support we get for that event.
Well, I think you're the king of branding too. This is years before I knew you. When we were just neighbors, and I didn't know you. You had the old Tacoma. You remember that?
Yes.
And you had the Morgan thing on the back of
the windshield of the truck.
And I'm like, I don't know who he is, but he's not running for something. You weren't running for anything at the time, and I'm like, what's he doing? Like, what's the deal? And then. Come to find out, a few years later, you did make the move. You've had that name out there for how many years now?
My goodness. Honestly, in all honesty, I started this in 2004.
Yeah.
And back when I ran for state rep back in 2004 in the Republican primary. Honestly, ever since I had an excuse to be in the public eye, I just pretty much ran with it because, the thing of it is I think we all know, let's just be honest here, I've always wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean elected.
Sure.
It just means involved.
You want to help people.
Exactly. And so it's one of those things of once I got involved that first time in that race, I won't go away. I'm like that roach that keeps popping back up. But that's the thing is there's so much good that can be done, and there's a lot of things that we've done over the years that have helped.
Sure.
Not just donating money to various causes, various sports teams, various organizations, but back in 2005, I put on a summer concert film series at the mall. We did old movies on the back of the mall. We had bands playing.
That's
we
awesome.
Did the 4th of July thing, and that was back when I had a little more free time.
Yeah.
But between that and helping out with Habitat, helping out with a variety of different things over the years.
Have you taught Ben Abster how to build anything, working on those Habitat buildings, or the Habitat houses?
No. Honestly, that is the best day of the year.
Yeah.
Every time, we usually get to go out about once a year as an office and build a house. And, it's great. Actually, last year, we did the Leaders Build, which is basically where Habitat gets some community leaders around to go out and build a house.
Sure.
And, I've done it the past 2 years. This year, however, I had a scheduling conflict, had to be in court, and so I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
So Ben went, I think it was the Leaders Build. It was the no, I'm wrong. It was the Law Build, which is where they have lawyers and some of the judges. And
so he didn't kill anybody with power tools.
So Ben went, and I tell you, man, Absher is the one person in the office other than me that actually knows how to do some work.
So he knows how to build.
Oh yeah, he actually.
So it wasn't like a safety hazard having Absher in there.
Absher, I'll give him this. He actually, he knows his way.
Well, he's an entrepreneur. He's got the rental properties. I tell him he's like Donald Trump around here.
He is like a baby Trump.
That's right.
He's just a little quieter.
That's right.
The only difference there.
And he's so intelligent too.
Oh my goodness,
he has the most intelligent conversations. It makes me feel bad because I'll just have stupid conversations all the time. I don't care.
I feel your pain.
I don't care.
It's it's almost like me on the radio with Heartline. I tell you, for those of y'all who didn't
there
listen,
he is in there right now too. We're pre-recording this today, so we might we might get him to harass us here in a little bit.
He probably will.
He gives Richard Burnett a really hard time when Burnett's in the studio. That's for sure. So.
Well, I think he's probably excited today. Steve Crump's on with him this morning. I saw, and then Adam Lowe. So.
Oh, was Crump already in here? And
well, at 7:30 he's supposed to be on, I think. So.
Okay, has Adam Lowe already came in? Or?
He comes at 8:30.
8:30. Okay.
Some of us get here early and checked out the schedule.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I was coming in a little bit late this morning, and Andrew accused me of being a liberal that wanted to sleep on my couch all day.
On a Monday morning.
Yeah, that's
don't get up early.
No.
You can't work all
What
day.
time do you get up in the morning?
Usually about 5.
Woo!
Something like that.
That's rough right there.
I overslept this morning. It's 5:15.
5:15. See, I'm a 6 a.m. man.
The 6 is nice. I mean, if you want to be lazy.
6 is nice, but 5, that's, oh man. You don't hunt, do you?
I used to go coon hunting with my granddad all the time as a kid.
I need to take you whitetail deer hunting, but
I've never been deer hunting.
My dad's one of these
Go figure.
that he would get me up in the tree stand 3 hours before in the morning time. Like insanely early, and he's like, the deer can't hear. You got to get in before the deer can smell you and all that while they're sleeping and all that. And I'm just like, I'm one of these. I'll risk it walking in like 5 minutes before daylight, and I might not see nothing, but at least I got a couple more hours in. And then it was one of those. I would sleep in the tree stand until something came out, and I would say, "You want to shoot it?" You know what I mean? You know how it goes.
I remember my first time turkey hunting, and I don't know. There's a big part of me that's just. The problem I have with hunting and fishing, I enjoy it when I go.
Yeah.
The problem is blocking off the time to do it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because it just, my wife hates this about me, but if I'm sitting still doing nothing, if I'm not actively engaged, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, me too.
That's what happens.
Me too.
I mean, it's my preacher every Sunday morning throws something at me.
Yeah.
But he should. But it's the thing of it is if you ever get me to sit still and not do something. Yeah. I'll doze off.
Take a nap.
I mean, it's just.
You got a recliner?
No, oh my goodness.
I've got like multiple recliners. So you can go to the couch recliner, then the regular recliner.
Yeah,
but you gotta have them on stock there.
They don't sit well. It's one of those. I gotta be doing something. The other night, Saturday night actually, about 9:30, 9:45. I thought about going outside, putting all of our stuff from the outside patio area, putting it up for the winter. And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I took tomorrow in the daylight. I just don't do nothing.
Well, I know you're out there running around whenever I hear Ralph losing his mind in the backyard.
Yes.
Sounds like an attack dog back there.
I swear,
he's a good boy though, isn't he?
He is. He's sweet. He's basically a dog version of me.
Yeah, there you go.
Crazy and so he sleeps a lot more.
Yeah, there you go.
He does, but no, he's a good one. He is, but I don't know about him.
Well, let's talk a little bit. Well, actually, let's take just a second break now that we've kind of gone into every single thing there. Like when you used to host this before we take the break here, I think you talked about my cat evading child support.
Oh,
do you remember that? If people want to go back in the records,
yes.
because I took your slot over whenever you decided to run for judge. So this is a little blast from the past for you.
It is. It's one of those of I spent a lot of time cutting shows.
Yeah.
Usually by myself though. We were talking about that earlier. But But no, I mean you're doing a great job with it. I'm loving it.
I'm no Andrew Morgan. I'm no Andrew Morgan, but we'll be right back.
It's not hard to be Andrew Morgan.
We'll be right back in just a second. Good afternoon, everyone, and we're back here with Andrew B. Morgan, the man, the myth, the legend himself here at the Top 101.3 The Buzz Studios. Andrew, we were talking a little bit about everything on the first segment there.
Yeah.
So
it's to be expected.
That's right. We'll just get into whatever.
Well, one thing I'd love to talk about here on December the 6th, we're having a little special Christmas drive. I don't know what you'd really call it. Basically, what we're doing, you've got all these places that do. Toy drives, boat drives, things like that for kids and others at Christmas. So I just got to thinking, a few weeks ago, I thought, why not have a one-stop shop for all of it? why not have one day that you can just bring canned goods, linens,
Sure.
towels, toys,
Where are you going to bring the stuff
So we're
to?
going to do December 6th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. over at Tractor Supply. We thought about doing it in my office, but Tractor Supply is just in such a great spot.
Yeah,
Such
that
a
is.
big parking
And you
lot.
got the Hardee's parking lot unused now too, so you got plenty of room.
still have parties there.
I never understood why they went out of business. That was the best one.
Oh yeah, well I think they're looking at, I don't know, but I don't know.
See, I'm an old man. I used to go to the. Do you remember the Shade Tree Club that used to happen out there?
yes,
I was a
you
frequent.
used to go
I
all the
was a
time.
frequenter of there. We had a lot of us out there.
Oh
A
yeah.
couple of us from the group. They're passed away, but there's still a few of us out there left. We'll talk about reviving it every now and then, but
Oh, man, I tell you, it's I remember the pictures from that. It looked like you guys had a good time.
we had a good time.
One of these days I'm gonna stop and take a minute and go to things like that.
Yeah.
I just never.
Oh man, we had a good time. I'd always stop in, but it's one of those, if you started going, they'd get on your case if you
If you
stop
miss.
back
Yes,
in.
yes.
That's right.
Well, no, we right now I know the carrying place is coming. They're asking for linens, blankets, sheets, and
Okay.
towels. Salvation Army, new toys, all ages. Family Promise is asking for toiletries. I know we've got another group. I'm trying to find the message about it, but you can check out our Facebook page for the law office. It'll be on there. I know my wife always says you got too many pages. She's right. Hopefully in May we might get rid of one of them.
There you go.
One way or another.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
There you go. Yeah, it will be one way or the other.
one way or the other, I reckon. So, but yeah, so December 6th, and if there's any organizations listening, we've got some spots. The only thing I'm trying not to do is duplicate.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a competition between, here's a place that takes canned goods and here's another.
Sure.
one. So yeah, if you have something where you all are looking for something specific,
So
please
real
call us.
quick,
Sure.
what the items you're looking for again, just one more
Right
time.
now, I know, and we'll update this as we get more, but
And they can find this on all your pages?
yeah,
Okay.
we'll have it on all of them. But basically, we're asking for towels, linens, and the like for the carrying place. We're asking for toiletries, new toys, and there's one more. I'll find it, I'm sure, in a minute. But
And give that date one more time.
that is
too.
December 6th from 7 a.m.
6th.
to 1 p.m. and I will be there. I guess I don't have that message on here. I'll be there at 7. I know we're at court at some point that day, so I might have to leave for a second. But yeah, we'll be there 7 to 1. So we'll have someone from my office there helping out.
We'll have to get you back on before that too, talk about it a little bit more. But that's the good thing about Bradley County. Everybody comes together
They do.
to help out people in need around here. They really do. Really do.
And that's the best part about living here is there's never a shortage of folks willing to help others.
No.
And that's
This is the capital of the world for that.
it is.
I
It
mean,
is.
you can't walk down the street, and there may be one or two that won't help you.
Sure.
And anywhere, but the vast majority here, the people here will give you the shirt off their back. I mean, this is God's country. That's
It
what
is.
I used to give my old teammates used to give me a hard time because I'd go home every weekend. I got the chance,
Oh, yeah.
and they would just, they would just give me heck about it. But I said, boys, I got to get back to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
get no better than this,
I mean, back when I was at UT, I would come home every single weekend.
Yeah.
And partially because I had to milk cows. But yeah, it's just one of those things of, it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
So,
there's some more
There
coming in.
it is.
Look here.
Green.
Now we're talking in the other studio here that we've got the district attorney right through the thing, and then we got Gary Green in the other studio. We're in there pre-recording. Look at this. This is
I bet if you talk to Steven too, he might just come on over here and do this.
what I'm wanting to know is if we could get a tag team wrestling match, me and you versus Crump and Gary Green in there. I think we could. Well, here's the thing: you got Gary. Gary's about your size.
A little short of that.
Yeah.
I have more of a reach.
And Crump, he's a little bit bigger than I am.
Yeah.
I'll say this with all due
Oh,
respect,
yeah.
because he, being the district attorney here,
Yeah.
he's the big boss man here, But I do think I've got a few years of, I'm still a little bit more in my prime if we got into a tag team WWE match.
Move around a little bit easier.
I'm a little bit quicker than he is.
More
I do
like a
think
cat.
that's exactly right.
And see, I got those old man moves.
I
I'll
know.
cheat.
I know that. They're gonna throw me off the radio. I'm saying we've got
Yeah,
another
Shamblin over here
studio,
going
and the
after
Shamblin Showdown is about to actually turn into the Shamblin Showdown
I
over
tell you,
here.
we gotta
So-
get you that. I'm a real American.
I'm a Ric Flair guy.
I know. Hey,
So
don't
you
be
were a
hard.
Hogan guy?
Oh yeah.
No, Flair
Hulk
kicks.
Hogan.
You remember when Flair brought in the
I
brass
know.
knuckles?
No.
You know, against Hogan.
Yeah, okay,
He put the brass knuckles. Somebody handed him brass knuckles.
Yeah.
He knocked them out and he put them in his tights.
Yes. See, I was a early '90s, late '80s wrestling kind of
Yeah.
guy. You know, back in the glory days of wrestling.
I'm such a nerd. I would go back and watch old ones now
Oh.
too. So.
I tell you, man, I grew up, Roddy Piper.
Oh man, he's the man too.
Shawn Michaels.
That's another big one too.
I tell you, it's
the Heartbreak Kid.
Oh yeah.
Now Triple H, he was a little bit.
See, that's
yeah.
after my time.
But see, that was what do they call that? An Attitude Era
I think so.
with like DX and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like whenever you'd see the wrestlers do some of that stuff, and then like you'd go do it at school, and then you'd like get sent to the.
I don't know about you. I didn't do it at school.
I would, we would all we would see the wrestlers do stuff, and we'd do it at school, and then all of a sudden we're in trouble, and they're like, "Where did you see that?" Well, we saw it on WWE. We thought if you do it on WWE, you could do it anyway. Well, you can't do that. Then we're in trouble,
God.
But it's all good. I never would have made it through if I didn't have some understanding teachers and principals back in my day.
That's true.
And now, my mom's principal out at Taylor Elementary, and I'm just like, Mom, just be nice to those kids. Just be nice.
Remember his name.
Just be nice. Just remember how bad me and my little brother was. Just take that into consideration.
Oh, that's
anyway,
awesome.
So we'll take another quick break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back here, and hopefully that maybe we can get a WWE match started right here in the studios. We'll be right back. And we're back here on the Shamblin Showdown here with the man himself, Andrew B. Morgan. Andrew, before we get started in on a little bit more, we hadn't had a serious, moment yet.
Never.
Let's talk a little Atlanta Braves. How big is that?
Oh my goodness! As soon as the postseason started and we beat the Brewers, I thought we might have a shot. And then once we get over that hill with the Dodgers, I knew it was just destined.
You've been waiting for years.
Oh,
I have too.
I have. 95 was phenomenal, especially after all the 90, 91, 92, 93, after everything that we went through those years. Because that's kind of when I started watching was 89, 90. And then 94, we're destined for greatness, and then they have the strike on my birthday of all days.
Mm-hmm.
So having waited since 95, and my wife being such a big Braves fan, she was there in 95.
So Brittany's a big Braves fan
huge,
too. Okay.
Huge.
See, that's you would people that are Braves fans, you would never like my grandmother never misses a game watching it. She knows I'll call her for the recap.
Oh, hands down. And I used to be the guy who would never miss a game.
Yeah.
Then I got married and get busy and just everything else.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's one of those of I generally follow it on Twitter or on the little app that shows you the pitch count and all the all the stuff. But yeah, it was huge. So I ended up buying season tickets so that I could get
Sure.
And might have sold a couple pair of World Series tickets to help finance
sure
ordeal. But yeah, we went down for Game 4 and Game 5. Game 5 was a mistake.
Yeah.
But man, Game 4 was my goodness, it was so great. She and I being able to be there and see everything, and then of course them winning Game 6.
And Freddie's coming back now too. That's what I'm hearing. Have you?
I haven't seen anything official.
But I'm hearing
he wants to, and
pay the man.
Yeah,
pay the man.
And I get it. It's hard because he is, I believe, 32 or so, and production does tend to drop off to 36. And I'm sure he wants a retirement deal, but
he's our franchise player. We gotta have him.
Chipper. You need him for at least the moral side of it. But at the same point, it's I do believe in Moneyball.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's one of those, if it gets hard to pay a guy $20-30 million when you could spread the wealth and have a team.
Get a couple guys,
So I don't envy Alex Anthopoulos at all. Not a bit. He's no matter what he does, it's gonna be criticized, and that's part of the job.
Yeah.
But no, I'm hoping that we can repeat. But yeah, it's huge. I'm finally getting some of my championship swag.
Are you? Yeah, I saw a guy at the office the other day. He had his on. He's like, "This just came in yesterday," and he's like, you could tell he hadn't gotten it ironed out or anything. But he threw it on. I'm like, I don't blame him.
And I hadn't seen you since we went down there. But when I was down there in Atlanta, I actually got you a hat.
Did you really?
I got you a World Series.
You are the man.
I did.
You are the man. What a guy right here.
Kind of know we were recording this morning.
What a guy right here. So You can't
Try to
beat
take
this
care of our
guy.
friends.
That's exactly right. You can't beat
That's
this guy. And I'll tell you what, too. You give away some good Andrew Morgan hats.
We do. You know, the leather patch one is a personal favorite. It's
That's
great.
a personal favorite for me, too.
It's a glorious hat. I've lost 3 of them already. I don't know how. I keep thinking
Chase Lawson tried to steal one of mine one time, and I got it back.
I'm not surprised.
I got it back. It's ridiculous. It's a dang.
The Mike Smith story is still on
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm
But-
working in the trustee's office, and you know, and Andrew sends me a hat by Summer Conley,
Yeah.
and you know, she comes walking in with it, and I could tell Mike was liking it, and I was like, you know what, Mike, Andrew wanted you to have this
And
hat.
I did.
I know.
did.
I
I
know.
just didn't realize you were over there.
I know, that's right. So I lost
I
out
said
on
2
one of
hats.
those. That's exactly right. But anyway, but I'm
We've got
like,
a few more we're gonna give away along the way, but
and Mike likes that hat
oh,
too.
it's a wonderful.
That's
hat.
the best
It
hat they
is.
make right
It
there.
is. I really, you know, those cost a little bit, but it's worth it.
It's
You know,
worth it.
They're good ones.
Well, let's get into a little bit on
Sure.
serious. Now, how's the campaign going? Anything else?
It's going well. I mean, we haven't, and I mean this in all sincerity, we haven't really started.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get through the holidays.
Well, yeah, and, you know, my wife's had a lot of stuff going on, you know, between festivals, and, you know, we had our quarterly trip to Boston a week or so ago, which went well.
Good.
She actually has had some tumors shrink some
Good.
from the chemo.
Well,
so
she's got a lot of
it's
people
good.
praying for her.
And I appreciate it. It's, you know, a funny thing is everybody sees this green band on my wrist. I had these made back in like 2013 or so.
Yeah.
And basically, it just says praying for Brittany and Cure. And it's things that I'd either give away or I'd sell or raise money for the charity. And mine actually broke the other day.
Oh.
I've had it on for like 8 years
Yeah.
straight. And it broke. So I've got a new one. So if you see me fiddle.
Well, you've got the tan line there too.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I'd never take it off. Go figure. But no. So the campaign's going well. You know, we've given away about 400 or so yard signs. We've ordered finally the big 4x4s. We've gotten rid of about 850 T-shirts, I think.
850. Wow.
Something like that, and I think around 400 hats.
Wow,
So
yeah.
We just got a new order in. So if
Yeah.
you're looking for a hat, not the big fancy Tutter Shamblin special.
Yeah,
Those are
well,
too expensive. I ain't that kind of guy.
Andrew's got that back of Mallard Cove money. Don't let him kid you. Don't let him kid you. That's for sure. He may be conservative, but he's got the dough. That's for sure.
Listen. But yeah, so we've got hats. But my plan is after the holidays to go ahead and get things cranking.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to get started too early. You know, people don't want to hear about it right now. You know, they want to hear what's for Thanksgiving, what's on the menu,
Exactly.
Merry Christmas. You know, that's
and you know my big thing, and you know it's I did the interview with Heartline last
Yeah.
week, and you know the thing that is hard in an interview setting is it's hard to get into all the reasons you're running, and for whatever reason my brain had some crinkles in it that day. And I didn't get into the thing that matters the most.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest reason I'm running is to help the children graduate.
Sure.
I mean, that's the whole reason. That's what we talked about on the videos. That's
Sure.
what we talked about at the kickoff celebration. You know, that's what matters. You know, it's you know all the things I talked about with Steve. You know, factor in, but you know the big thing is you've got to get in here and break the generational cycles that we run into.
yeah.
You've got kids that are in the system, whose parents were in the system, whose grandparents may have been in the system. And their children, if we don't fix something,
Sure.
will continue. And I'm not talking about some progressive, left-wing, you know, government involvement. What I'm talking about is we have a system that you know, kids are brought to state custody. And it's our job, once they're in state custody, to make sure that we do right by them. We help the parents.
Do as good
we
as
help
you
them.
can.
Exactly.
Just as good as you can.
And you know what we've been doing, it's fine, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not talking about an increase in government spending or government anything. What I'm talking about is a situation where we utilize nonprofits, we utilize church programs, we utilize a variety of different resources to help these kids out. You know, mentor programs. You know, I had a kid who had a juvenile file that thick.
Wow.
I mean, this thick. And I actually brought him on as an intern in my office.
I remember that.
And, you know, it's a big old kid. And somebody once asked me if I let him take money to the bank. And I say all the time.
Yeah.
And I had no issue with trust with him.
Yeah.
You know, and we had developed a relationship. And since he left me, he's had one little run-in where he was found with some marijuana.
Yeah.
And, it's not good, it's not okay. But considering the trajectory where this kid's life was heading,
Yeah.
It's
progress. None of us
me.
are perfect.
No,
He's
no.
making progress.
He
That's
is.
the thing.
And it's one of those things of, he was looking at being sent off to state custody.
Wow.
And, we were able to hold off on that and try to get him some help, and I feel like we have. There's more work to do, but the more we can do for kids, the more we can do to help, break those cycles, to break those problems, the better.
Yeah.
And that's where my heart is. That's what I want to see happen. Right now, the way the judges do things, the past two haven't been as involved on the juvenile side.
Sure.
And that's the side that
that's where your passion is at.
Exactly. That's the side that matters most to me.
Yeah.
And trust me, as a bankruptcy attorney, which I do a lot of that, the civil side matters. If you have a judgment put down against you for some old credit card debt, we need to make sure it's legit. We need to make sure that it's owed. And we need to do that with everything. Landlord-tenant disputes, we need to, suss those out and make sure that we hear the facts.
Well, that's a big passion of yours as well, too, making sure that
due process is followed.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Sure.
Is we have to follow due process. When you deny people due process because of a governmental agency's rule that they put down, and I can't get into that too deep, but it's just, let's just say it's problematic when due process is followed.
Sure.
And when government officials do that, it's very, very troublesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the juvenile side of things is why I'm in this race. It's the reason that I'm running. That's where my heart is, and you'll see more about it. We've got some things that will be coming out in the near future that get deeper into this. Anybody who wants to learn more about us, you'll have a great chance.
Sure.
To be able to do a deep dive.
Well, where can everybody find you right now?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I got in trouble last week. I said AndrewBMorgan.com, and that's actually the office website.
Yeah, well, you're used to it.
It's MorganForJudge.com, I do believe, plus the Facebook page, which is Law Office of Andrew B. Morgan for the office, and I think it's Committee to Elect Andrew Morgan.
I think so too.
Honestly, if you search Andrew Morgan,
it's not
hard to find.
It's not hard to find this guy.
You can always swing by the office at 3910 North Dakota.
Go eat it. Oh my gosh.
Jordan.
Yeah, Lost Margaritas, and just look down, and his face will be looking at you on the table somewhere.
Honestly, swing by the office. Get him a T-shirt. Get a yard sign.
You've got all the Andrew Morgan swag on the
we've
table.
got a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, we have it right on the front table. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't give my wife a shout out. We've got some of her stuff for sale up there. Hers is for sale, mine's for free. So.
She's got the good stuff too.
Oh, she does. She does all my shirts and all that. So you get the good quality shirts.
And she puts you to work too, doesn't she?
Oh, she does. Oh my goodness! Yesterday she has these great green bleached sweatshirts that say "Resting Grinch Face."
Yeah.
And she had me helping her make those last night. So, but no, she's actually got a festival thing coming up Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, at my office.
Okay.
They're going to do a little small business Saturday
There you
pop
go.
up from 10 to 2. So come by. She's got a few vendors looking for a food truck.
Oh man.
I might have to get out there with a grill.
Yeah, I
some
know.
burgers.
If you get out there and start grilling, then I will make an appearance. That is for sure.
I may skip the Tennessee game and do that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But no, man, it's a great. It's a great thing to be where we're at right now. I'm hearing good things about the campaign. Can't say enough good things about it.
Sure.
And appreciate all the support. It's. I said this the night of the kickoff. We had about 350 people show up. And
Yeah.
It's very humbling to have that kind of support.
Sure.
And it's just not very comfortable. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not very comfortable talking about myself.
Yeah.
It's just not my ideal subject.
Sure.
I like talking about ideas more than I do and doing things.
Sure.
But it's really humbling when people that you've helped over the years, and the thing that got me that night was there were 3 families there. I hadn't seen them in years, and I was the opposing attorney on their adoption cases.
Wow.
And they came out to show support, and all 3 of them, and they didn't know each other. These were just 3 random people, sets of people. And it was one of those where they said they just wanted to come out and show their support, that I was kind to them back when everything was going on. And I had a job to do. They were all appointed cases where I had the parent, one of the parents.
Sure.
And I guess I just, I don't know. it's just very humbling
Yeah.
to me to see somebody that you were on the opposite side of. A funny thing, I'll leave you at this. I actually had a divorce case a year or two ago, and the husband who I represented is a big supporter.
Sure.
His wife stopped by the booth at the Apple Festival.
Sure.
And got T-shirts.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there you go.
Ex-wife, I should say. That was
There you
that
go.
one was that was a little different.
There you go.
So, but hey, I've talked enough. I know we got to go.
A vote is a vote, though, isn't it?
It is. And, I think it's just more so. It is very humbling.
It is.
When anyone supports you, let alone people who you were against.
That's right.
On
Yeah,
something,
that's the key.
That just
Somebody that's against you and they have enough respect
Yeah.
for you that you handle business in a classy way. Well, we'll leave it right there
that's perfect time.
on the Shamblin Showdown here. And always remember, if you can't run with the big dogs, you got to stay on the porch. We're out.